And welcome back to more Sonic Colors. So last time we made it through the first 9 stages of Eggman's Sonic Simulator, so this time we're starting out with stage 4-1. So we have Plant Wisp music, no objections here. To be fair, I can say that about most of these remixes. If there's one thing you can say about Colors, is that the music is really good, for the most part. I can't think of a song I dislike out of this soundtrack. There are obviously some I prefer, but for the most part, this is probably one of the more consistent Sonic soundtracks. This seems to be a remake of Spring Yard Zone, which is actually one of my preferred stages in Sonic 1. I know it's kind of a low bar, but yeah, after Green Hill, it would probably be either Starlight or Spring Yard for my second favorite and third favorite, respectively. It's just generally pretty fun, and I actually really like the boss of Spring Yard. It's really clever. Sadly, no bosses in Game Land. I would actually have been curious to see them try to remake Sonic 1 bosses, like in 3D. I think that would be kind of neat. To be fair, that's kind of what Forces did with the Wrecking Ball fight in that game. Yeah, this is definitely Spring Yard with these little slot machines and these little half pipes. I kind of wish more Sonic games would borrow from stages that weren't Green Hill. If there's ever a Sonic Mania 2, I would love to see them try to tackle some of the more obscure stages, like Sonic 2's like Mystic Cave Zone as an example, like a modern interpretation of that. So 4-2 starts out with a little 3D section. We have these little laser robots. I don't know if we fought them like this before in this game, where we actually have to boost into enemies to defeat them. This is very Sonic Unleashed, which actually works out well to segue into a topic I wanted to return to about contrasting Sonic Colors and Unleashed. Really, with the argument of like which I'd rather play between like all of Colors or just the really good stages of Unleashed, I actually kind of have an option, because for Sonic Unleashed, there's the Unleashed project, which is just the daytime stages, remade in Sonic Generations. So, technically, if you count fan mods, the debate of Unleashed and Colors, in terms of which I would just casually revisit more often, gets a little bit tougher to decide, because yeah, if you can skip a lot of the filler of Sonic Unleashed, it does become a much better game. And on the subject of Generations mods, I guess this would also be a good time to talk about how a lot of people have been trying to move over Colors stages into Generations as well. I know I've seen some Game Land stages in Generations before, and I think I've seen a lot of stages in like the main game as well, like Sweet Mountain. I've definitely seen parts of Tropical Resort. I think I mentioned this already, but yeah, some mods do actually combine acts. Like they have a little section that's added to serve as a transition point between one act to another, and then you just have one longer act instead of like several really short acts. It's really cool. There's an event every year in the fall called the Sonic Hacking Contest, which is dedicated to basically fan mods and hacks of Sonic games. A lot of it is completely original, using old Sonic games as a basis. Others are more like just porting over levels to see what can be done. So that was the 4th Chaos Emerald. Shadow would be proud of us. And now we're moving on to the 5th set of levels. Obviously, we have water right here. That is definitely Labyrinth Zone. It's honestly a little bit more tolerable with Sonic Colors physics, because you have like the stomp to quickly descend, you have the little double jump to quickly ascend, so it's not as bad as in Sonic 1 proper. It almost makes me want to see like a remix of Labyrinth and like a Mania 2, just to see if they could make it better with like the drop dash and things like that. That was very risky to stomp straight down. You can break out of a stomp in water. Oh, that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Have to make the best of this. But yeah, the Sonic hacking contest is really impressive to see how much fans can pull off with like the existing material, and also creating basically entirely new Sonic games out of existing games. It's really impressive. By the time this video goes out, it will already have happened, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm curious to see how far the 3D Sonic scene has progressed by the SHC 2020 showcases. Like even Sonic 06 levels have been brought over to Generations, which is kind of a weird fit, but it seems to work out pretty well from what I've seen. There's also a fan project to bring over 06 in its entirety in, I think, Unity? Kind of an interesting choice of an engine, but it's actually looking pretty interesting so far. It's kind of weird to think about a playable Sonic 06 existing possibly in the near future. And that's it for 5-1. Not too bad. Again, with the added moveset of Color Sonic, it's really not too scary, even though Labyrinth isn't exactly a well-remembered level. But yeah, the Sonic fan hacking scene is really cool. The amount of creative ideas people have come up with is kind of astounding, and the sky's kind of the limit. Like if we're getting to the point where we have basically like most of the Boost Sonic games all in one place in Generations, it's like who knows what the community can come up with next. To be fair, I feel like Colors is taking a little bit longer than Unleashed because of like the color powers, like the wisps. There's definitely more that needs to be tinkered with, like how you replicate some of these effects. So we have to be really careful here, because if it runs out when we're in a wall, we die. So we have to actually be careful to pick up more drill capsules as we make our way through. This is actually one case where the meter, it pays to pay attention to the meter in the bottom left because of having to consciously have enough power to make it through. That was cutting it a little bit close, but we made it. And we should be entering a 3D section here with grind rails. But yeah, having more conventional controls with colors would actually be really nice. Being able to quick-step anywhere. Like here, you can't quick-step because the game won't let you, even though it kind of makes sense to be able to quick-step. And drifting, like, there are spaces where it would be nice to drift, but the game won't let you. So having that option by having these levels in Generations would be kind of cool. So yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen even like the adventure games have a lot of mods every year. Like there's a ton of mods for Adventure 2, specifically character-based, like having new characters in Sonic. Adventure 1 and 2, there's stuff like a randomizer that randomizes cutscenes, and even dialogue. And also, like, who you play as. So you can end up with, like, the Chow Walker in Final Rush. Things like that. From personal experience as well, that has happened to me. So, yeah, it's just really impressive what the Sonic fan communities have actually accomplished. Okay, that was weird. It just disappeared instantly. I mean, I can't complain, because that's one less thing to worry about, but I'm not sure why it disappeared. Maybe Wisps can defeat them. I'm actually not sure on that. Alright, one more robot, and now the platforms should move into place. Also be careful using Spike here, otherwise you might fling yourself off the side of the stage. That has definitely happened to me before. Okay, that was weird. I mean, we can wall jump, but it just wore off at a really bad time. Alright, so these little question mark capsules I'm very wary of. So we're just gonna skip those for now, because I don't need to deal with Eggman on top of precise platforming. Good, I picked up a ring. I feel like with colors, picking up rings feels slightly off. Like, it can be kind of surprisingly difficult to actually pick up a ring, because of how they bounce. And that's it. That should be 5-3, so that's our 5th Chaos Emerald. So only 2 more to go, assuming we didn't already have the Chaos Emeralds on this file. So yeah, I feel like, colors as a game also, would be interesting to use, for modding purposes. I'm sure if there's ever a PC version of colors, that would definitely happen. But yeah, with all the wisps, I'd be curious to see what people could come up with for the wisps. That feels like a place where you should drift, but you can't. So these are not destructible, which is good, because otherwise you might plummet. So this sounds like Asteroid Coaster music. I actually don't think I acknowledged the Aquarium Park music last time. I really think Aquarium Park would have been an interesting Generations level, but I also realized that I feel like if you change one level, it affects everything else. So, Green Hill, as an example, means it doesn't really make sense to have a lot of, like, grass levels. Likewise, having, say, what's a good example? Like, Seaside Hill means that there's not really a point in having, like, another water level, so that kind of makes sense even though the aesthetics are very different. It also makes sense that Emerald Coast is not the Sonic Adventure level if Seaside Hill is the Sonic Heroes level, as an example. So yeah, I feel like if you change one level, it does change every other level, which is kind of interesting to think about. Again, I definitely kind of debate some of the choices for levels they made, but overall Generations is still a really good game. They did a lot with what they had, so basically some levels are shoo-ins, like Spagonia, City Escape. Some of the other levels though are kind of like, you could have swapped out a few levels and had a similar end result, like Emerald Coast for SA1, but then have like a different level for like Heroes or 06. So this seems to be like a flying level, which is kind of unique. Also scary, because I'm not sure if there's ground. So we have to rely a lot on light dashes to kind of keep momentum up. Grab as many hover capsules as we can. Try not to get hit by enemies. It seems like we do damage on contact. They're still firing at us, so I assume we should dodge the projectiles though. That almost wore out. That was definitely pushing my luck there. But yeah, like, if you could mod colors on a PC version, like, what could you really come up with for, like, hover? Like, could you make a whole, like, obstacle course around the hover wisp? And so on. Like, there's a lot of untapped potential with the wisps, I feel. Also just, yeah, having higher resolution frame rate, would be nice. But yeah, I hope eventually more Sonic games hit PC. It'd be nice to just have an all-in-one-place solution. I feel like in general, Sega's actually kind of bad about ports. Like, Sonic Adventure 2 was ported to 360, and then that version was made back compatible, but it was never brought over to PS4. Generations, there's no options if you're a PlayStation player to play that game, and so on. And I feel like it would be nice to be able to play, like, Generations, like a remake of Generations, or a remaster, like on PS4, PS5, with a higher frame rate and resolution. Unleashed especially would be nice to have, like, on PS5, back compatible, just for a better frame rate. Alright, so last up is 6-3. Asteroid Coaster is a good level too. Visually, I don't find it that interesting because you're just kind of in space, a lot of it, and a lot of it also is inside, like, buildings. So to me, Asteroid Coaster is visually one of the less interesting levels, even though it's still fun to play. The gravity could definitely have been a little bit more responsive, though. So this is like a weird combo of hover and drill. That's actually really cool. Like going back and forth between wisps and having a choice here. I'm opting for drill because I find it a little bit easier to control. It's not great, mind you, but it's a lot faster, and we're trying to kind of save time. Since there's not really S ranks, obviously, time trials are the best way to judge how well you're playing through this. There is a score, actually. It's just like, I tend to focus on time a lot. Really, that's kind of a thing in this game. It's really score-based for the main stages, which is actually unusual because Generations onwards would be very speed-based for their levels, and I'm not sure if I like that or not. It's kind of cool to just see, like, S ranks based more on speed, but it's also kind of frustrating because it's basically virtually impossible to not get an S rank in Generations. So yeah, I kind of wish it was a little bit more skill-based or point-based in Generations, but oh well. It's still fun to get S ranks. And yeah, for people who like completing games, Generations is one of the easiest. Wow, that was easy. Alright, so that is the next set of stages down. Personal best. I like how I was talking about not really caring about score that much, and yet here I got a personal best and also did not get a personal best on time. So, yeah, next time we are going to wrap up this playthrough with the final 3 Sonic Simulator stages, and by extension the last Chaos Emerald, and also go over a few other unlockables as well. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Sonic Colors.